this portal thing that's going on right now, we talked to Dave Nixon a little bit about it. It's changing the game. What's your thought about the transfer portal, NIL money? Where are we going with this?
Well, Deseret News, we're fighting. It's costing us a lot of money, but we're fighting to get NIL records, right? People are saying these are education records, and no, that's nonsense.
Why do you want the records?
We want the records because we want transparency, so it's not abused.
Right.
You have millions of dollars coming into players,
or at least promised to players.
What's it going to do for women's sports? Women's sports, they've worked so hard.
Yeah.
Now the disparity between men and women is going to be phenomenal. But it won't be if you can get transparency on that. If you can shine a light on that, you'll have some stars that are doing really well. But you need to have some accountability in that space.
Right now, it's all kind of done in back rooms, and nobody really. And you hear rumors, and so how did you go about? We've read a little bit about it. University of Utah, for instance, Utah State, these are state institutions. Is that your wedge to get in and be able to get this information?
Yeah, I mean, there are laws, different laws that are in place to shine a light on public records, public money. It doesn't apply to Brigham Young University. I think BYU should release that as well. Just put it out there.
They're going to look really good because they're not giving anybody, they're not giving everybody a truck.
Well, people are, that's right. But it is having a tremendous impact. And now you look at the University of Utah, their second and third string quarterbacks are gone. So now you have Cam Rising, 7-year quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. BYU used to get hit on the head for kids go on missions and come back. It's just 7 years, come back, make some money. Then they'll throw the keys to the car to Zach Wilson's little brother, right?
Yeah.
But everyone's calculating. Everyone's trying to see, can I get a better deal or can I go somewhere else? When I was there, I remember talking to Bill Shefflin. And I'd come back off a mission, and I see Bill in the library. So now he's a junior, and he's doing pretty well. And I said, how's it going? You enjoying it? And he says, coaches come up to me and say, well, we're bringing in a JC transfer. I don't know if you're going to play next year. So every step of the way, you're never quite the guy. There's always someone.
That's how you keep your edge, right? They're supposed to recruit over the top of you. That's what we were all used to.
So, but now could you do that if they're going to pay someone to come take your
if
job?
you bring somebody in and you pay them, they're expecting you to take the job. So now they transfer.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I mean, Stanford's in the dumper because they don't know how to do it with their standards.
Right.
I just don't know how you can move forward.
It seems to me that the transparency that the paper is getting also protects the player who is promised a certain amount and gets there and doesn't get it. And then there's at least a public record of, hey, this place promised you $200,000 and you haven't gotten a penny, and this gives you some recourse to say, hey, this wasn't done on a handshake, and I came here because you promised me to pay me, and now you're not paying me. Right now, there's no recourse.
Well, look at the truck deal, right? So those are truck leases. So media, we come along, others come along and say, everyone at the university, 65 cars given, or 85. What was it?
I don't even remember.
Something like that.
It was like
nobody brought one to my house.
Every scholarship player gets a truck. All right, it's pretty brilliant. They're not giving them the truck. It's a lease. How much is a lease for a year? A few $1,000s, and then it's done. But without the transparency, you can't look at the deal. You can't see what exactly is happening. And what is happening in the women's game? I think Title IX, 1974, now you're here 50 years later. You better be really, really careful about what's going to happen to all the other programs except for football and basketball for men.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, especially outside of the P5s, where there isn't as much money being thrown around from Fox and ESPN and CBS.
P5 I get so angry about because it's just baloney. I remember when P5s first started, that wasn't part of the language. P5 is only people with more money. And then it became that for 20 years, and BYU gets left behind. BYU's been a phenomenal program every step of the way. Absolutely deserves the national championship. But just like Florida State, people will continue to disparage them if you're not in the money pool.
Well, and then, we had the P5 language and then the Bowl Alliance and now the CFP, where it's like the haves, the insiders with the money, have been doing everything they can to keep the outsiders from being able to participate at their level. Are you concerned that with NIL and all of this, that the gap gets bigger now?
Something's going to blow up. I mean, you can't have 1,000 people in a portal, and you do, and have the bowl system do what it does. Next year, it'll be 12 teams in a playoff, and people will take a pause. And then the year after that, something will happen. But every step of the way, this is going to be minor league team, and the NFL is going to have to get involved. I think within 5 years, you see the NFL doing something to establish a protocol, to establish rules. And college football is already different than we thought it was. It'll be something brand new, in my opinion.